This Murli was spoken on 29th of June 1970. And the title of this Murli is The Unlimited Form of Surrender. Baba is saying, do all of you know your 4 images? Today, Babdada is seeing the 4 images of each one. Of this present time, of the conference age, not of the future time. What are those 4 images? Baba is asking. Baba was seeing the 4 images of all of us, of the present time, the conference age. So then, Baba is saying, do you know your own images? So some replied. So then Baba said, the things that you all said, have you become such images or are you becoming those? When will you become those? Or do you think that you will go fast at the last moment? However, will you be able to go fast at the last moment? The more you make yourself an image of success over a long period of time, to that extent you will claim a right to a complete kingdom over a long period of time. For instance, if someone is not an embodiment of success over a long period of time, then according to that, he will claim the right to a kingdom for a short time. He does not receive it for the full time. Only those who are engaged in making effort to become perfect over a long period of time claim the right to a kingdom for the full time. So what are the 4 images Baba is seeing? This is also an aim for becoming complete. So now Baba is telling us what are the 4 images. So firstly, Baba is seeing the image of knowledge. First image is the image of knowledge. Secondly, the image of virtues. Thirdly, the image of being a donor. And fourthly, the image of complete success. So the 4 images, one is the image of knowledge, second is the image of virtues, and third is the image of being a donor, and fourth is the image of complete success. You were told that to do service means to be a great donor. So, Babdada is seeing the 4 images of each one. The image of 4 faces is remembered. Right? The 4 faces of Brahma is remembered. So, Baba says you have to give everyone the vision of 4 images in the one image. If even one image is missing here, there will accordingly be a weakness there. Just as, now Baba is giving the example, just as you book in the luggage that you take with you when traveling. We book, right? We book the luggage. And you receive it at the other end. So we give away our luggage, our suitcases at the airport. And then when we reach our destination, then we get the luggage back. So Baba is saying, just as you book in the luggage that you take with you when traveling and you receive it at the other end, similarly, this too is a booking office. To the extent that you book whatever you want now, so you will accordingly attain it there. In the golden age, so we have to do the booking right now. So whatever we want, we have to pack that in our luggage. So if we want peace, happiness, prosperity, so that is what we have to pack. What it means is that we should not have any kind of negative waste inside us, because that is what we are going to receive in the future. So Baba says, think whether you have become all four images. Have you become those with four images? Baba is asking. The more you imbibe all of these aspects of your image here, accordingly, you will receive a future kingdom. So our future is based on present. Whatever we do right now, that is what we are going to get in the future. The more you imbibe all of these aspects of your image here, so accordingly you will receive a future kingdom, and your non-living images that are to be created in the copper age will be created according to your images of the conference age. Do you understand? So now, what aim will you keep in front of you in order to become a complete image? You tell those on the path of devotion to come and understand what effort the deities made that they became as they are portrayed in the images. So, what aim will you keep in front of you in order to become a perfect image? So, Baba wants all of us to become perfect. So, what should be our aim? Baba is asking, what aim you should keep in order to become perfect? In the corporeal form, there is just the one aim of perfection. What aim did Baba keep in order to become Karmatit? What aim did Brahma Baba he keep in order to become Karmatit? In which aspects did he become perfect? Do you know how much he adopted an unlimited vision of the word perfect? So, perfect is just one word, but he imbibed it to such an unlimited extent that he became as he is. So, how did he become perfect? Baba is telling us by having the aim of total surrender, he became perfect. So, he became perfect to the extent that he surrendered. However, what is the unlimited form of surrender? Now Baba is asking us, what is the unlimited form of surrender? The more you imbibe this in an unlimited way, to that extent, you will make your intellect unlimited and become one with a right to the world. What was that unlimited surrender? So now Baba will explain to us. What was that unlimited surrender that Brahma Baba practiced? So Baba is saying there are four aspects in that too. Firstly, your every thought should be surrendered. Every thought should be surrendered. So Brahma Baba surrendered his every thought. Secondly, every second should be surrendered. Every thought should be surrendered. Every second should be surrendered. And then, thirdly, so every second should be surrendered. That is, secondly, every second should be surrendered. That is, your time should be surrendered. Then, thirdly, your actions should be surrendered. And fourthly, your relationships and wealth should also be surrendered. There also has to be the surrender of all relationships. Lokic relations are, of course, included in that anyway. However, the relationship between the body and the soul should also be surrendered. Very deep point. Relationship between the body and the soul should also be surrendered. Have you surrendered to this extent? Perishable wealth is not a big thing. Perishable wealth, you can surrender. It's not a big thing. But imperishable wealth, the attainment of happiness, peace, purity, love, and bliss as a birthright, was surrendered in the service of other souls. He felt that peace for himself lay in the peace of the children. So, in giving peace to other souls, he considered it to be peace for him. This is what it means to surrender your worldly wealth together with your godly wealth while staying in the stage of a detached observer. So there is such a vast, unlimited significance in the word surrender. Do you understand? So it's surrendering not just the physical wealth, perishable wealth, but also imperishable wealth. That is peace, purity, love, bliss, everything for others. So those who imbibe it to such an unlimited extent become images of success and images of perfection. So do not see the word surrender with the ordinary meaning. It is easy to surrender worldly things, but to surrender godly attainments means to be a great donor. And to have pure thoughts for others happens number wise according to one's capacity and worthiness. Those who surrender everything to this extent are said to be those who are totally surrendered. So, have you become such images of perfection, such images of surrender? All consciousness of I should be totally merged. When something is merged in something else, it becomes the same. To merge means to become the same. So, the more you merge the consciousness of I, the more you will become an image of equality. So, I, the soul, Baba always says, always have this awareness, I, the soul. So, that way, the body consciousness will go away. So, when you serve innumerable souls, what is the aim you keep when you're serving? Baba is asking, what is the aim that you keep? To make them similar to ourselves. Someone said. So then Baba is saying you do not just have to make others equal to yourselves, but equal to the Father. If you make them equal to yourselves, then what will happen? The weaknesses you have will also become their weaknesses. Therefore, if you wish to become perfect, you must not make others just equal to yourselves, but equal to the Father. Just as Baba makes you more elevated than himself. In the same way, if you make others more elevated than yourselves, it means you have followed the Father. So, you must not just make others equal to yourselves, but equal to the Father. So, always keep the aim of perfection. You have to keep the aim of the perfect image that has been revealed. You cannot keep an aim of that which is still incognito, which is still not revealed. As your aim, so your objective. Therefore, if you keep an elevated aim, you will have an elevated attainment. So, if our aim is high, then attainment will also be high. For example, if someone aims to get 100% marks in any examination, then the attainment will be maybe they will get 95% or 98%. But if the aim itself is maybe 80%, aim is not that elevated. So attainment will also be not that elevated. Maybe then that person will get maybe 70% or 60%. So our aim should always be high. Even if we are not able to achieve that aim, but at least aim always high. Aim for high. So Baba says now your third eye should always be focused on the target in a very stable way. When people have a stage where they are totally lost in love, their eyes become very still. How will others have a vision of the third eye? Through the forehead. A sparkle on the forehead and intoxication in the eyes will be visible. Through this, you will be able to tell whether someone's third eye is lost in love or whether he is on a battlefield. When your eyes are not well, the eyelids constantly blink. If that third eye is functioning accurately, that is, if the divine intellect is clean in an accurate way, it will be stable. Baba is again also giving another example. What happens when dust gets in your eyes? The eyelids start to blink. So the sign of dust is fluctuation. The sign of perfect health is stability. So in the same way, this third eye should always remain stable. People will have visions from your forehead and your eyes. And so check, does my third eye open and close very quickly, or does it remain constantly open? When people are lost in remembrance of someone, their eyes become still. In the same way, only those who are lost in remembrance of one will be able to stabilize themselves in the stage of perfection. Otherwise, like the eyes, the third eye will continue to open and shut. It will not be able to remain still. If there is some dust, quickly remove it. Baba will tell you an amusing situation. For instance, if people are having a vision of you and your image keeps fluctuating, what vision would they have? When someone's photo is about to be taken, the photographer asks him to stop moving. If he moves, the photograph would be spoilt. In the same way, what vision would others have if your stage keeps fluctuating? Just as you make yourself very stable at the time of being photographed, in the same way, always think that your devotees are having a vision of you at every moment. So, this is such a beautiful awareness that we should hold on to. That I am on a stage. See, if actors are on the stage, they have this thing in their awareness that everyone is watching me. So they are extra alert. What they are speaking, how they are moving, they are very cautious. So similarly, we should also be aware that at any time, any second, devotees can have my vision. And at that time, if my stage is not stable, so they won't be able to get anything from my image. They will also get disturbed. If I am disturbed, they will also get disturbed. So, in the same way, always think that your devotees are having a vision of you at every moment. Then you will become an image that grants visions, that is, an image of stability. Otherwise, devotees will not have a clear vision. In order to grant a clear vision, a stable intellect and a constant stage are essential. Underline point. In order to grant a clear vision, what is needed? A stable intellect and a constant stage are essential. Do you understand? Devotees will have visions of each of you at this time. The souls of those devotees will be filled with the seed, that is, with those sanskaras. Then those sanskaras will be merged and will then emerge in the copper age. So, whatever they take now from us, that is what will go in their sanskara, and that sanskara will then emerge later on in the copper age. Baba is explaining that. Just as you explain that the founders of religion take a message and sanskaras from here, which then emerge from them later. In the same way, your subjects and your devotees will carry their sanskaras and they will then emerge accordingly. If the devotees are not shown a clear image, how can you fill them with those sanskara? You also have to carry out this task. You must not just create subjects, but together with that, you also have to fill the devotees with those sanskars. So it's our responsibility. Baba is telling us how many subjects you have created and how many have become devotees will also be known. See, at the end, we will know everything. How many subjects we have created, how many devotees we have made. So, Baba says the rosaries of devotees and subjects will both be revealed. Each of you will have a vision of both your rosaries. You will have a vision of yourself as to where you are threaded in the rosary. The significance of some having more subjects and some having more devotees is still incognito. In the same way, some have less prosperity even though they have a big kingdom, whereas others have a smaller kingdom but greater prosperity. This is also an incognito secret which will be revealed at some point. At present, keep the aim of creating subjects. Devotees will be created like a motor a minute at the last moment. See, at the last moment, so many souls will come. So that will happen very quickly. But more time is needed to create subjects. So the devotees will pray to you here at this time. They will not worship you. They will sing your praise and they will then worship you there. When the copper age starts, they will worship us there. You will know all of this later. Acha. Om Shanti. So now let's close with a few minutes of meditation. Let's keep this high aim in front of us, seeing ourselves equal to Baba, seeing our perfect form, becoming perfect like Father Brahma through unlimited surrender, surrendering every thought to Baba, surrendering every second to Baba, surrendering every action and all relationships and wealth to Baba, using our divine intellect and maintaining a constant stage. All the time, my stage is elevated. My third eye is clean and clear, and therefore, devotees are getting my clear vision of stability and perfection. And as my image is stable and filled with divine qualities, the devotees are also catching the same energy. They are also absorbing the same sanskaras. They are also getting the strength, the power to be stable. So my image is serving them. I am a great donor. This is my perfect image. Om Shanti.